Alright guys, so I got a pretty cool video for you guys today. I got the car retuned by Anthony Ambot probably like 3-4 days ago, and we made some really good power with this new setup. So the new setup is the Pulsar GTX3576r Gen 2, and then the only thing I changed on the car was the high pressure fuel pump. So we were able to push the car out a lot, and we made some really good power, but we did have to, dial back the torque and make the power on the top end on E73, so that way we can keep the engine and the transmission alive for a little bit. So long story short, we made 387 wheel horsepower and 318 pounds of torque at the wheels on 93 gas, and then that was running 20 pounds of boost. And then for E73, we made 495 wheel horsepower and 406 foot-pounds of torque. I don't remember the exact RPM, but I will put the dyno graph that he sent me. It's all through virtual dyno, so most of this stuff, take numbers with a grain of salt. It's just numbers. It's not, it's like nothing. It's a baseline. Like, it tells you where the car is. It gives you an idea. It's not something to actually go off from. It's not perfect or anything. So we were able to make a good amount of power, but I did tell him to push the car to make the most power we could. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys is I had a lot of people asking me, was I able to fit the shield for the turbo down there with this new turbo setup. I did everything custom. If you haven't seen it, you can barely see it here, but I was able to fit it on there. PLM does sell the headers with, longer bolts for the shield. Trying to watch this as I do it. And then they include some little spacers on there, so that way you can, put that on there. So it cleared just fine. It was closer than with the other turbo, but, it fits on there. Especially now that I did have to put the original tank, or like oil tank, for the turbo. That's pretty much it. I cleaned the car. The interior I still gotta clean. And then the other thing I did was, put this new catch cans. So yeah guys, the car is pretty much gonna stay where it is and how it is for a year or so. I just want to make sure that the car is gonna last a while with this engine and transmission. I want to fix the transmission issue, and that's it. I want to make sure I want to prove people how good this engine actually is. Like, it's got potential. It makes a lot of power. As long as you build them right and you put all the power towards the top end, I know these engines are, they're good. And pretty much, I'm not gonna really take the car much more to a track or something like that. I might take it whenever I fix the clutch and whatnot, and then just see what happens, like how much it runs. It should be good for 11s. Aside from that, car's pretty much completely done. STI transmission and block, down the road whenever something gives up. But aside from that, I wanna get at least 20,000 miles out of this engine, making this power. Like I said, I'm not gonna run it on full E73 all the time, so it's gonna, with the 93 tune, it should be pretty good, for a while. And I'm not gonna take out the engine, to fix it with, or like to replace it with a built block. unless this one gives up. If this one gives up, then I will. If not, it'll just stay on there for a while until it gives out, you know. But I'm gonna cut this video off now. It's starting to rain here and I'm starting to get wet, so I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna do a video soon, and I want to get a couple of my buddies to do a couple flyby videos of the car so you guys can get an idea of what it sounds like. And that's pretty much it, you know. Just see how the car is acting up with this turbo, and see the car in action a little bit, you know.